Hello, teacher Amanda here, and I wanted to take you through just kind of a look at what props I usually use. I feel like that's helpful to kind of get inside the classroom of another teacher. So I started out just grabbing my kids' toys, and I've maybe printed off a few things here and there over the past year and a half since I started. And really though, I've found some good multi-purpose props that help me a lot, that serve, I cannot talk today, you guys, that serve multiple purposes. So I'll go ahead and show you some of those. First of all, I found this awesome kids book a while back at, I think, Target for a few bucks, and I love this because first of all, we use car and bike a lot, so both of those visuals are really helpful, and Apple for that matter. And then it has both the big and small form of each letter, and then it also has an example of a word that starts with that given letter. So it's really, really useful. It's fun to kind of go back and forth and show them, hey, here's the letter, here's the item, and so I've used it for some phonics work, and then obviously with a lot of level 1 where we're introducing the letters and making small form, this is really useful. And I like it because it's less awkward than fumbling around with flashcards. I can just easily get to a given page, show them that visual, and go through the letter and item. So yeah, pretty cool. Use this all the time. Pretty much don't touch my flashcards anymore. I also keep a couple children's books around for multiple reasons. For some students who are good readers, I keep them around. Maybe I use it as a reward system. We'll read a book together, or maybe if we have extra time at the end of class after an assessment, I'll go ahead and let them read a book. But also, if you have books that are relevant to the lessons, like I have some that focus on shapes or numbers or what have you. So these can really be useful in class to go through, hey, here's the number, and we count something together. I can't read this backwards very well, but yeah, so giving an example of the numbers and giving clear visuals, this is really helpful. I have one for numbers and one for shapes, and I think another one for animals. And yeah, those are super useful. They make a great visual, and I can grab them really easy instead of fumbling through my flashcards. I don't know, I just struggled with staying organized with flashcards. I still have them, but I don't really use them that often. Another thing that I love, and I found this randomly at a thrift store, so can't give you a link or anything, but it's a puzzle, and we've basically lost all the pieces because kids. So I use it as a prop all the time in class, and I love it because if you look closely, it actually, where's my camera? It actually has like the directions to on how to make the letter. So this is really useful because when kids are learning just how to basically write, I'll kind of show them a general motion of how to make the letter on the screen. And I use this for the alphabet song and just to reference letters in general. So it's really fun. It actually kind of matches one of the alphabet slides that we use in class too. Another good one is just the good old whiteboard. I've purchased several now because a lot of times I've become a little bit more minimalist with how I go about things. A lot of times I will just grab some whiteboards the day of. I'll go through and just get the gist of what lessons I'm teaching, and then I'll draw a few of the key vocabulary out, like draw some sort of picture of it, and then also draw the word. It's an easy reference point to prompt that word during class. So I use whiteboards a lot. I've tried to have like one per class. That way it's ready to go, and I can use it more effectively. So that's just been something that's worked for me in kind of simplifying and not grabbing a ton of stuff. So another good multi-purpose one is just things like this, where I'm not trying to teach you this exact word so much as I'm using this to cheer you on during class. Things like this can be used across the board. Now, obviously, there are times where having a specific item is useful, don't get me wrong, but I'm not personally somebody who grabs like 20 different things and wants to show you every single one, because a lot of times you can kind of generalize a little bit. If you're teaching something and it's plural, right? Like you're trying to show singular versus plural, I don't need to show that exact object. I could show something else that's singular and plural, So I also have coins. I use this a lot whenever we're doing anything with math or singular and plural. So showing them one to many or something like that. So yeah, sometimes it just means branching out a little bit from the exact content on the screen, but that seems to work fine for me. So kind of broadening your horizons. Like I don't always have the exact, I don't have a helicopter, but we can talk about other things that fly, like an airplane or, things like that. So, but yeah, I definitely use the whiteboard more than anything. And then I have this one little bin that's been with me from the very beginning, and this I pretty much use in every single class. It has my car, because that's one we use a lot, talk about driving and transportation. It has my big little trophy, which I use because of assessments. At the end, it's like, you win, da, 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 you did it. And I present an award, so that's super useful. And then I've got all these fun little animals, which are super cute and very useful. So for like younger students, it's really fun to talk about the animals and act them out, make their noises, that kind of thing. With older students, we can discuss animals they like or dislike, but animals, if you've been teaching a while, they come up a lot in the lessons. I've also used these as rewards, but I use this all the time. And don't make fun of me, but I have these, where's my camera? I cannot get oriented. These little people, and I make this my Meg and this my Mike, and so I use them all the time. Meg and Mike, and we talk about them and use them. So yeah, that's pretty much the majority of what I use. Oh, I do have a few food items I grab here and there. You can't really see it, but I teach on a cube organizer, so I have like different things packed away. But honestly, like of the 8 cubes I have, I pretty much only get into one. I've kind of narrowed it down because it's just way too cumbersome to be grabbing a million different things during class, and just you're fumbling so much for the prop that it takes away from the teaching, right? That's no good. So I'm sticking to using less, and I'm really using the whiteboards a lot more, and then using things that I can grab for multiple classes. So let's see. I did make noodles. This is fun for when we talk about food because noodles is familiar to them. This is just some extra yarn I had lying around, but I put it like in a bowl and I pretend to eat it. And then it gets stuck to my lip gloss and have hairs in your mouth for the rest of the lesson. So that's a really fun one. A few more I'll show you real quick. I don't use that one. I'm not gonna show you that one. But this one I do use a lot. I printed this off. Everything's reversed for you, but in the real classroom, they flip it obviously, so it all looks normal. But I have like a check mark, which is great for prompting them to say yes or letting them know something's correct. And then I flip it around and it's a no. Because especially with a lot of level 2 content, there are a lot of sentences where we're trying to get them to start with yes, I do, blank, or no, I don't. No, I don't, blank. So this is really useful for getting the sentence started, kind of getting them an idea of what we're wanting them to say. Whenever you can elicit the right response a little bit more easily, I'm dropping everything, it's really helpful. And then I do have like some other little number charts. These are useful, these like pouches you can buy, because you can stick anything in these and then you can draw on it. So you'll see I have like my emotions little chart thing up here behind me. And you can like circle things and write on them. So those pouches are very useful. I bought like a 20 pack on Amazon for like, I don't know, $10 or something, but I really like them because you can hang them up or post them up, but they're more flexible than laminating because you can change them out as you want. Don't judge me, but I actually have a laminator on the ground that I've never used. I bought it and I intended on being one of those laminating teachers because I see all your beautiful things that you laminate and create, but I am too lazy. So that's a little bit of my classroom. I hope that gives you some insight into like what my teaching looks like or what it can look like to be a VIPKid teacher. I don't feel like it takes that much. You just print a few things off. Mostly I just draw things out or write things out on here. You can do nearly anything with a whiteboard, right? Especially now that they have so many interactive slides and the level 2 interactive, like the rewards page is all interactive, all that. So that really simplifies, I think, what you need to grab. And then some fun things that you can use for multiple lessons, especially things that are like across the board, books and the alphabet, and then like the alphabet book. So anywho, I'd love to know what kind of props you use. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments, and thanks for watching.